Children's Center was a merger of 3 child welfare organizations in the Galveston area. The Galveston Children's Home, which was established in 1878. The Lasker House, which was established in 1894, and then the Albertine Yeager Children's Home, which was established in the 1920s. And in the 80s, those 3 organizations merged to become the Children's Center. The Children's Center evolved into foster care and many of the services that we operate today, which are primarily centered on prevention and early intervention, emergency shelter, and residential care and treatment. It's an entirely diverse group of people we serve, and we are pleased to be able to open our doors to anyone.
This is Mamie, I'm a 6-year-old, and Nicholas. I am Julie Putman. On December 25th, we were at a football game, and my purse was stolen out of a truck. My identity was in there, my credit cards, my children received Social Security and child support. That left me with nothing. I am a single mom of 2, I do not work. I ended up not being able to pay rent where I was staying, and on December 2nd, everything just started snowballing, and I ended up at the Salvation Army here in Galveston with my 2 children. 2 weeks later after that, right before Christmas, me and my son ended up with pneumonia. And we were in the emergency room with 103 temperature, and we had over at Salvation Army, the doors are shut every day, and on Saturday and Sunday until 5 o'clock in the evening. They will not let you in, sick or not. The hospital called Miss Shirley, because they knew about this place. I would have been here earlier, but they knew about Miss Shirley.
It's my goal to do whatever I can to help my families. And I just enjoy helping. She had a purse stolen before she came here. She was in another shelter. But I had to take her to the Social Security office a few times to get her papers. So we finally got everything that she needed. I took her to the Department of Motor Vehicle, and she was able to get her ID card. So she's a new woman. She can go and apply for a job now, where she couldn't in the beginning. Because without the proper papers, you cannot get a job here in Galveston.
My name is Lois Reveau. I became a single parent at the age of 47, and I'd always wanted to be a foster care or an adoptive parent. And I ran into Terry Keel one day picking up my godchild at the daycare that the Children's Center ran. And he said, "Don't you want to be a foster parent?" And I said, "That's something I've really always wanted to do." And so that started the ball rolling. And he had the agency call me a couple of weeks later, and here I sit today. I've been a foster parent now for about 11 years. Ariel came into my life when he was 4 years old. I received a call from Terry Keel in March of 2004, and he said, "I have a little boy at Shriners that I'd like for you to meet." He had been in a bus explosion, I was told. My heart stopped and my stomach flipped because I knew nothing about taking care of burns, nothing. And he said, "Well, will you just come meet this child?" And I kind of laughed and said, "Okay," because I knew once you meet the child, there's no way you can ever turn this down. So I went to Shriners with my 15-year-old foster child, and we met this little boy who was so incredibly tiny, and he was covered from head to toe. All that was showing were slits where his eyes were, and of course he could breathe, and his little mouth would only open this much. He's got 3rd-degree burns on 67% of his body, but he's burned more on like 90 to 95% of his body.
Ariel was just a little one, but he's a brave human being and a hero in his own right, because he's taken adversity and challenge and overcome it. I just find him an incredible person, and a resilient person, and someone I respect very much.
Ariel has made such a difference in my life, but the people around him, from teachers, I've had one teacher tell me, she said, "Miss Reveau, he may have learned this year, but I learned so much from him." And she said, there's not a doubt in this child's mind that he's loved and wanted. He just loves life, and he goes for it. Whatever it is, he goes for it.
A lot of the children we serve are under contract, and we do receive fees to serve them. The difference between us and a lot of organizations, though, is that when children turn 18, many organizations stop serving them because they've reached that magic legal age of 18. We continue to serve them because often they haven't completed development and need further assistance until they're independent.
My program, GMI, only takes care of kids between 5 and 17. But once they are 18, they need to be moved. And Mr. Kill has developed this other program here. It's called the Youth Center now. And he takes care of those kids that are left alone. So it's very nice to do that, because when they are minors, everything takes care of them. But when they become an adult, there's nobody there for help.
My name is Victor Jonathan Calix Cruz. I'm born in Honduras, and I'm coming to US when I'm 16 years old.
Victor was a young man who came to us after he was released, from immigration, and needed a lot of support, and needed support in, his legal work in the court system. And he comes from a childhood of living on the streets to a more and more acclimated young man who is working, is adjusting to society in the United States, and who's really trying to make a life for himself.
Yo nunca pensé que iba a encontrar a personas así como Mr. Kid, que tienen buen corazón. Él pues es como mi familia más cercana, que no es mi familia, pero es como mi familia. Y aquí está, siempre está en las buenas conmigo, en las buenas y en las malas.
With the type of support we give him, being available to him, he's going to make it.
Carlos Pérez, soy de Guatemala. Pues Children's Center me volvió a meter a una clase de GD, y ahora estoy tratando de sacar el GD para poder alcanzar mi sueño, que quiero ser un mecánico. Y pues ahorita estoy trabajando en eso, en ser mecánico. Pero si no hubiera sido por Children's Center, yo estuviera, no sé, en la calle o en otro lugar, no sé dónde estuviera ahorita.
We've worked with a lot of youth from the community and that have been referred to us from elsewhere, and it's been, really gratifying to all of us, because we're seeing young people that are working in construction, retail, restaurants, all over society and succeeding, and we stay in touch with them. They let us know how they're doing, and it's really worth every minute we can invest in them, because they're basically giving back at this time in their lives.
It's so important for the Children's Center to receive funding, because they do so many wonderful things for kids and families. I think of the families that have no place to go. I mean, just think of the impact that would have. If we can make one life better, and the Children's Center has made many more than one life better, but if we could just make one life better, what a world this would be.
As far as I can see, the future of the Children's Center is very bright. We're serving a tremendously diverse group of children and families. We're drawing the attention of the community to those needs, and they're interested in seeing fellow citizens step up to the plate, overcome their issues, and become partners in building a society. And to me, that's what it's all about.